I forgot to post a video yesterday. So today is day 41 and 42. Although I didn't meditate yesterday, so the challenge was I meditated. So nothing specific to say about yesterday. Today what I tried is because the reason why I do this type of meditation, which is not really meditating but just sitting still with eyes closed for an hour and watching what happens. I don't want to push away thoughts. I don't want to focus on a specific mantra or any other technique. And I don't specifically like guided meditations either, because since I have a lot of thoughts, it's chaotic in my mind when I do guided meditations. But today what I tried is, because still my intention, or I don't know if that was my intention in the beginning, but I know that now I really want to wake up to be enlightened or whatever it is. Although I've read enough lately to know that no words really work. So whatever the word I use, it's not the right word. But I would like to basically end the suffering. And from what I've heard, the suffering comes from the sense of self that we have, that sense that I am Flavie and I have a past, a story, and all that. So basically this is a concept, is a mental construct, but you can't touch it. You can't touch the story, you can touch the me, my name. They're just letters, so to see or to feel or to know whatever, there's no words can describe, but to know what we are outside of this concept. And so basically it's to see what's behind, or behind I don't think is the right word, because what they, when I say they, I mean the non-dual speakers that I watch or read or know, like Adyashanti, or lately I've been listening to a lot of Simply Always Awake on YouTube, and Rupert Spira, and there are many. Jeff Foster, he's not making new videos now, I think he's sick. But anyways, I lost my train of thought there. So basically I want to see through the illusion of this whole matrix. So although when I meditate, my intention is not to push away thoughts, because that is still resisting what is. But still, if I don't do anything, if I just sit like I do, I'm usually overwhelmed by thoughts for an hour. And then at some points, I'm like, whoa, I was really gone far into following the train of thoughts. So I bring myself back, but back to what? I don't know, back to reset, and then another train of thoughts start. So today I tried to consciously stay present as much as possible. So when thoughts arose, I tried to not push them away, but to let them go. Just be aware that they were there and let them go. Some went instantly when I said, okay, stop, and some lingered. And there's also Scott Kiloby that I recently discovered, and I really, really love his work. He's great because he acknowledges trauma and addiction and the way it changes our entire being. So it's a different process maybe to awaken. So why did I mention him? Because I don't know why I mentioned him. I keep losing my train of thoughts. So that was it today. I tried to see the thoughts and stop them. Not stop them and no, this is a bad thought and go away. I don't want to see you. I welcomed the thoughts. I let them be there. But the effort, if there was an effort, was in not being attached to them, not feed them, not follow them. I simply returned to whatever awareness I could find. I don't know if that, they call it our sense of being. I don't know. To me, it's like a sensation somewhere in the body, although it's not really in the body. It feels like it's here. Anyways, I don't know what that is. And oh yeah, I was talking about Scott Kiloby because he says thoughts are basically images and words. And I think that helps. I mean, sensations can be a concept too, and emotions are there too. It's the same. You do the same process with the emotions. You don't push them away, but you don't let them overwhelm you either. You simply I don't know if focus is the right word, but focus back on that whatever presence, stillness, sense of being, whatever you want to call it. It's a bit too early to know what I benefited or gained from that way. I thought it would be much longer. I thought it would be really hard. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this for an hour. I have so many thoughts. But it worked. And what's been helpful too is to see that thoughts and thinking is really a mechanism. And if one thought comes in and you follow it, for example, it says, "Oh, you didn't check that email, for example, it's really important, you should answer it," and then you think about that email and those people and how you are related to those people and etc., and then you're gone. But if you manage to release as soon as possible and say, "Oh, stop," you let the thought linger there the time it needs to, and then you let it go, then another comes up, and then you do the same. So at some point, I had thoughts so random, so unrelated, and I was like, I could see the mechanism. I was like, oh, you're not able to catch me anymore, so you're just shooting more and more bullshit at me and more ridiculous things. Like for example, I was meditating. Oh yeah, in my meditation, I was releasing a thought, and then another came, and suddenly just an image of the kitchen from the house where I lived with my previous boyfriend before my daughter's father, like 15 years ago. Just an image of the kitchen, and the colors there, it was sort of brown, beige, whatever. I was like, why? How is that related? And see, if you usually, my therapy mind would have said, oh, there's something coming up, there must be an emotion related to that image or thought, so stay there. So I would sort of feed it, maybe. And I'm not saying this is wrong, because maybe there was an emotion or something related to that thought that needed to be processed or healed or whatever, and that needed to come up, although there was no strong emotion there. If there would have been a strong emotion, I would have acknowledged the emotion as well, felt the sensation in the body, and let it go when it's done, without feeding it and biting into it. So at that time, I think it was not trauma that needed to be released. It was just my mind trying to shoot anything at me to grab my attention and to grab a hold of me. So that was not so hard. I thought it would be difficult and I could not do 1 hour because it would be too hard, but it went by easily. And so the what they say is that this is what you have to keep doing all the time. Notice thoughts, let them go, and be in presence as much as possible, and never feed the thoughts, and don't never argue about what's there, whether the life circumstances presented to you or your reaction to it. Like today I went to an interview for a job, and I was surprised to hope that I get it, although it's an office job like I used to hate, and I don't want to do that in life, and I'm kind of feeling stuck in my beliefs. But then today I was like, oh, actually, I think I might like this. Not all of it, but I think it could be a lot more enjoyable than I was hoping, that I was believing. So I was, but I was, I clearly didn't want to cling to this, because who knows if I'm going to get this job, or who knows if anything can happen. They can decide they're not going to hire anyone. They can hire someone else. Did it go well? Did it not? Something, anything could happen. So I just wanted to let go, to say whatever. If I'm the right fit for them, and it'll be, and if we're not the right fit for each other, it's fine if I don't get it. That's what I wanted to the state I wanted to be in. But I found myself looking forward and hoping that I would get it. And then I saw my non-duality mind say, no, hope doesn't work. You shouldn't hope. You should be in the neutral. But that's ridiculous too, because letting go and allowing what is to be is also allowing the person, the me, the Flavie that has my name and my story, that concept, that thought, my person, my character is hoping that I get it. And that's fine. I shouldn't resist that either, or be attached to it either. It's really strange. I'm starting to get the difference between my personality and something else, although it seems like that something else is nothing. So I really wonder how one could live from that nothing space. And that is what I am hoping to find out. To be continued.